we want to take a look at a man that's been away from the wrestling game for a couple of years, coming out of retirement, the legend of professional wrestling, Canada's greatest athlete. Here he is, singles action, featuring Gene Kiniski. Well, that is then a form of the figure four leg log, if you will, by almost the same pressure points applied to the arm and the leg.
Very, very much so.
But this Bob Bryan has a tender right arm now as Kiniski locks up with a collared elbow hookup, and actually Bryan surprising me here with the advantage.
Well, this is a hold that sometimes becomes a sacrificial hold. A lot of times you can suck a man into taking a headlock on you, and you'll find out what he knows what to do with you or not. And again, we're seeing moves that we haven't seen. There's a form of the crucifixion that comes from amateur wrestling. He's got one leg tied, and you say crucifixion because it's the cross, and it's a diagonal cross here where he's got the half Nelson, so to speak, on the other arm. Now he's let that go, and now he's just got an eagle spread, hoping to get both guys' shoulders down.
Well, I'll tell you what, a perfect maneuver for a man that a lot of people think probably never read the Bible, but might have been in it. A lot of people, Gene will never tell you how old he is, but he's got that attitude of a 25-year-old. And you know what? This has got to be one of the first times, Nick, I've seen a wrestler of that caliber go in there and look like he's just having fun, but yet focused. You know, he's not taking his opponent lightly.
No, he's
but
not.
Gene looks like he's having fun.
Well, he's enjoying himself.
Kiniski hasn't changed one bit, Nick. We were talking about that earlier. And like you said, this is definitely no beauty contest. Taking a look at that mug. But how does a man like Kiniski come back after a couple of years, Nick, and stay that conditioned and fine-tuned? I mean, wouldn't you have a little bit of ring rust after a couple of years?
Yeah, you would, but then we don't know to what extent that Gene's been getting into the ring out in Vancouver area where he lives. It is very possible that he may be down there training and still working out, which prevents that ring rust. But at the same time, one of the things I know that he does, and Gene, needless to say, we can see he's not one of the big power weightlifter type, so he doesn't have the big bulking muscles, but he's just a natural big man. And over the years, the natural big men have been far stronger, pound for pound, than, so to speak, the guy that was steel trained or lifting the weights to get that size.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I've been watching this match, and there's a lot of maneuvers that I'm not that frequented with anymore in the world of professional wrestling. For sure, the world of wrestling has changed a little bit in its style. You see a lot more power maneuvering now than you might have years ago. But a guy like Kiniski is bringing it all back to a lot of the great fans across the country.
Yes,
and if that's the kind of action you like, you know, no gimmicks, just basic, down-to-earth, old-fashioned wrestling, this is where you're going to see it.
Well, Gene himself was, I guess you might say, some sort of a gimmick, just being the natural personality that he was. When they say the line roars, he always roars. I'm telling you legitimately, if you sit and have a conversation with him, you don't know whether he's yelling on a construction job or he's just tremendously overenthused about what the hell's going on.
Well, you can guarantee one thing. He's enthused about what's going on in the squared circle. I've never seen a man at this caliber, like I said earlier, look like he's having that much fun. And in this case, it's been all Kiniski. Of course, you know, his two sons later on went to the world of wrestling, and we're talking about Nick and Kelly. Kiniski, Kelly being the eldest, I believe.
Absolutely.
And actually, I don't think either one of them, I don't know, I could be wrong here, are either one of them wrestling still?
No, I think Nick is still wrestling amateur, trying to help out with the Canadian team as far as the Olympics go and training those people. And then, of course, Kelly, he dropped out of wrestling, I'd say 2 or 3 years ago.
And both actually are running separate businesses in that Vancouver area, as far as I've heard from Father Gene, who you're looking at right now. And Kiniski whipping him off, big size 16 there to the midsection. And Kiniski, so methodical. There's that karate thrust. I was wondering, Kiniski used to use that that thumb to that throat. Well, today he's given us that karate thrust and another one there. Well, he's been all over his opponent here tonight.
In the first match when we saw him last week, he seemed a little anxious. He seemed a little, I wouldn't want to say rushing, but he was setting more of a tempo. I think he feels more settled a week later. Don't know how long he plans on carrying this on, but while it's taking place, as you said, there we go with a nice backbreaker that Gene always puts out, and that is that he, as you said, he's more focused, more intense.
And you know what? It's one of the most devastating backbreakers I've seen.
There's some of you wrestlers that are making disparaging remarks about me. Fine, talk is very, very cheap, but let's step in the ring and do it the right way. There'll be a lot of fans to witness it. There's a fellow Canadian who's been looking for me. He's been using a lot of adjectives to describe my manner, my personality, etc. But I'm not interested in a verbal conflict. I am a professional wrestler. Let's settle in the ring where it should be settled. That's what the fans want. That's what I want. So, if you have a certain individual you'd like to see me wrestle, write the promotion, phone in, and I'm sure I can accommodate anybody that they can muster up who feels they can stay with Gene Kiniski, Canada's greatest athlete.